I'm trying to win the Premier League with every single team. 20 clubs for the next 20 days. Previously, we took Wolves to their first ever Premier League title. But today, I will be taking over Nottingham Forest, who have won the Champions League but have never won the Premier League. And with this Nottingham team, there's no chance we win the Premier League. However, we do have 71 million in the 25-26 season. Surely, that can help us a lot. But it's not gonna be that simple. There are only 3 rules I must follow with every club. I absolutely cannot change any of the team's tactics. And with this Forest side, we are playing a 4-2-3-1 wide, meaning we're gonna need an incredible striker to help us win the Premier League. Rule number 2 is I can only make one unrealistic signing. And for example, if we wanted to bring in Lionel Messi to the side for no apparent reason, we could, but only once per team. And as per usual, we do have a transfer rule that I will reveal in just a second. And lastly, the final rule is every other transfer in and out has to be realistic. And for example, now that Nottingham are fighting for European places, someone like Marcus Rashford will be extremely realistic to sign for this club, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. But not only that, Marcus Rashford does fit in the transfer rule. Let's see if you can guess what it is. So for 21 million, we are bringing in Marcus Rashford, the ex-Man United Academy player, to the side as a striker. And that is the transfer rule. The only players we can sign for Nottingham Forest are players that played in the top 6 youth academies. So that means any players that came from the academies of Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, and Tottenham Hotspur. And as Rashford joins the side, that is because Nottingham have a history of signing those type of players, like the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony Elanga, and even Ola Aina. And now with the signing of Rashford, the attack is actually looking very incredible as they cannot grow. However, at any moment, that can change. Every time I fail to win the league, no matter what club I'm managing, I will be forced to spin a wheel filled with my first 11, and whoever it lands on, I will have to release from the team, and I cannot re-sign them. So very likely at the end of the season, we could use Rashford alongside any other signings we make at the end of the season for free. But we do now have 43 million to kickstart the journey of winning Nottingham their first ever Premier League. And as we take a look at this side, this team is looking absolutely incredible. But also remember, in terms of realism, because Nottingham Forest isn't the biggest club in the world, if someone like Gibbs White gets an offer from Liverpool or Arsenal, we're probably gonna have to sell him because it's realistic. So before I decide on any signings, this team does have incredible squad depth, so I am gonna go ahead and sell a couple players, but also see if any big clubs come in for any of our players. Before I show you the transfer list, we do have a 5-star judgment scout, and of course, we're gonna be using the youth academy and probably get some superstars as we're sending them to England. And because this team has a lot of squad depth, I'm just gonna go for the core of the team, and that's going to be the center back, the CDM, as well as the striker position. And let's see what Ethan Burrows brings us at the end of the season. But in this first season, we get lucky as no big clubs or clubs bigger than Nottingham Forest have poached any of our players. But we have sold a lot of deadwood. And that does give us 110 million to spend. There are no restrictions of how many players we can sign per season. However, because Nottingham Forest are a team around 10th to 7th place, there is an overall cap for this season, and that is an 82 overall. How many top 6 academy graduates are at an 82 or lower? So now take a look at this team. There are some players we need to improve on. Matt Sells, he's been absolutely incredible this season, but he is 33, so a goalkeeper would be nice. Ola Aina, another player that's been incredible in real life this season, but he doesn't have a backup, so either signing somebody better than him or somebody that could eventually take his place. And I wouldn't mind another CDM. We do have Yates and Elliot Anderson, who is probably going to stay here for a very long time, and he does have some decent backups, but I would like another better player. And the first position we're going for is the goalkeeper, and this is a very important topic. That is because there's only 4 players that we can sign that have played in top 6 academies, and that is Emiliano Martinez, Gavin Bazunu, James Trafford, and Muric. We could technically sign Emiliano Martinez this season, but it would take up my unrealistic signing, but I think I want to save that. So we'll keep Emiliano Martinez in mind for future if we need another goalkeeper. So now we have to decide between these 3 keepers who are not all good enough to sign for the current starting 11, but could eventually take Cell's place. But just remember, if we do lose all of these 4 keepers that we had listed, we cannot sign any more goalkeepers, so maybe in the youth academy, we have to invest. But at the end of the day, I went ahead and for 15 million signed Gavin Bazunu, who used to be in the City Academy. This is one of the 4 keepers that we will be able to sign throughout this entire video, and if we lose him and continues to lose keepers, we might have issues. And for 18 million, we have signed the right back that will compete with Ola Aina, and it is Pablo Mafia, who spent some time at the Man City Academy. He is an 80 overall, literally just 1 or 2 overalls above Ola Aina. Maybe one of them can grow and become our starter for the rest of the time, but to be honest, honest, a lot of the players we could sign right now for the starting 11 are around 80 to 82. In a couple years time, the younger players are gonna grow, so we will be able to use the current youngsters at the Premier League clubs. For 20 million, we have signed a player who sits on AC Milan's bench, and that is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, one of the most popular Chelsea Academy graduates of all time. Never had the career that everyone thought he would be, but maybe here at Nottingham Forest, he can help us win the Premier League. And now this is what the starting 11 is looking like. The team has not improved too much, but we've got a little bit of younger players, getting rid of Chris Wood, getting Marcus Rashford in, and having Bazunu for when sales eventually starts to go down. But let's see how they do in this very first season. And the season has come to an end. The question is, with the Nottingham Forest, we finished in the top 10, which is good. We're maintaining our position. Oh my days, we're in the top 8. This team is maybe too good. We might win the Premier League very, very soon. We're above 7th and we finished in 6th. You know what? We will take that. 63 points, 7 points behind the top 5 teams in the Premier League. We have a long way to winning the Prem. And what a career revival. The top goal scorer of the Premier League was Marcus Rashford. 30 goals in 37 appearances. I knew we made the right decision. And as City win the Premier League, Dusan Vlahovic from Villa has won the Premier League Player of the Season. And Rashford is the only Forest player in that team of the season. And literally every player in the starting 11 has gone up at least a +1 overall, and that is good. Just a reminder, a lot of the players we did sign were like around the age of 27, 28. So maybe this season, because they did so well, the potential has gone up. And Marcus Rashford with 30 goals and 6 assists, we're in danger of losing him to a bigger club now that he's back to his very best. 11-4 for Loftus-Cheek. I'm glad we signed him. 11-2 for Jota Silva. That's surprising. Gibbs White with 9-10. 76 for Callum Hudson-Odoi. And these were the rest of the players. Elanga, though, did disappoint. But thankfully, he's young, so we can really improve on that. But as good as we did this season, it's time to spin the wheel. And to be honest, there's a lot of players I do want to keep in the side, but let's see who is leaving on the free, and it's RLC, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It isn't the worst player to lose, but he did grow an overall at least. We just wasted money on him, basically. And now one of our highest overall players is leaving the side on the free. I hope he goes to a bigger club because he did us a service. However, at least our first batch of Youth Academy prospects is incredible. Billy Barnett, a center back from England. Dominic Evans, a CDM from England. Mainly Jude Brewer, a striker already at a 70 overall with like 91 potential. He's gonna be great. And make sure to watch the entire series because we're gonna find out who is the best Premier League team. And we've arrived to season number 2, and this squad is looking pretty decent. Obviously, we just lost Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but Dominguez is at 80 overall. However, now because we finished in 6th place, the new overall cap is an 84 overall. So I'm not sure who I want to sign yet. It's probably gonna be a brand new midfield of 2 because Elliot Anderson didn't grow as much as I thought he would. But first of all, let's see who is going to get sold because remember, there's still a lot of clubs bigger than us and can steal one of our players. And we did lose one player. He was our captain, one of our starters, Nikola Milenkovic, for 35 million. Not only do we have to replace Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but also Milenkovic. With 156 million, we do have a lot of money, but the question is, can we find the right players? Now, our first signing this season is a replacement for Milenkovic for 24.5 million. It is Cameron Carter-Vickers, who spent some time in the Tottenham Academy. There wasn't many options. There was one guy I really wanted, but he was just above the overall cap. Maybe we could sign him in the future, but for now, Cameron Carter-Vickers will do the job as he is an 81 overall. And for 67 million, we are signing Felix Nemencha, who was in Newcastle in the save. And I think this is on the line of realism, taking a player, an amazing player at that 84 overall from another Premier League team. I think it could happen, so I think we're fine with this signing. Nemencha has joined the side, and I'm risking it all. I am getting my unrealistic signing here out early. Curtis Jones. I saw the opportunity. He had 12 months in his contract, so for 25 million plus Nicolas Dominguez, we are bringing the Liverpool Scouts-born man into Nottingham Forest. We are denying him of a future of a one-club man, and he's joining Nottingham and is going to help us in the Premier League. And taking a look at the side, it's looking absolutely incredible. We could definitely finish in the top 5 once again. I wasted my unrealistic signing on Curtis Jones. I hope it's worth it. But let's see how they do at the end of the season, and also check on our Youth Academy at the end of the season as well. And season number 2 has come to an end. Where did we finish? Please tell me we're in the top 5 once again, and we are in the top 8. We're in the top 6 again, and no, I think we finished 5th last season, right? I think we finished below basically we finished below the top 4 once again. dang, man, it's going to be really, really hard to get top 4, mainly to win the league title. But back-to-back golden boots for our boy Marcus Rashford, 27 and 38 appearances. Lovely to see. And as Tottenham finally win a trophy, the player of the season goes to Rashford. That makes me nervous that someone's going to come in for him, as he's in the team of the season again, alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers. I knew we made a great signing. And once again, this team does go up in overall. It is very minimal, but it is showing Rashford is the one that went up the most, now at an 85 overall. Gibbs-White is now at an 85. Callum Hudson-Odoi a +2 and 83. Elanga a 2 and 83, only a +1. That is the problem with the players we have and the players we can sign. A lot of the players that used to play for the top 6 academies are already in their older stages, so we really need to wait for the younger ones to start getting better. But Rashford has an even better season with 37 goals in all competitions and 2 assists. Gibbs-White also his best ever season, 14 and 13. Curtis Jones from the CDM position, 11 and 10. Nemencha 8 and 3. And the rest of the squad continues to improve, and Elanga thankfully had a way better season than last. However, there is good news. There's no way we can get stuck when our youth academy graduates are growing out on loan. Oh, no Premier League title. Once again, it is time for the wheel. Now, the question is, who are we going to be losing here? Anybody would be a blow, to be honest, and it's going to be Felix Nemencha. Why do we keep losing midfielders? There isn't a lot of options, fam. Damn, Felix Nemencha is leaving the side. Literally tied for our highest rated player. Felix Nemencha is leaving the side. This one really does hurt. Regardless, we have solved the goalkeeping problem because Reece Williams is joining the side, and so is Alex Herbert from our youth academy. Our youth scout is cooking once again. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure you subscribe. We're so close to 200k subscribers, and we have arrived in season number 3 as the new overall cap is an 85. But first, let's see who is leaving our side. And this season, we lost 2 players, and they're both of our right backs. Ola Aina to Dortmund. If we would have finished in 4th place in a UCL spot, we wouldn't have to have sold Ola Aina to Dortmund, and Chelsea have come in for Pablo Maffio. Hey man, there isn't a lot of right back options either. I hope the youngsters have grown. So that does give us 181 million to spend on probably 2 new right backs and some hopefully improvements to the side. Let's take a look outside. We definitely need 2 new right backs, a starting one and a backup. We probably need a new left back. Nico Williams isn't really growing, and a center mid / CDM. And I forgot how much money I paid, but I will put it on the screen through the edit. But we have signed Connor Bradley, and before you say this is unrealistic, he was at West Ham. If he was at Liverpool, there was no chance I was going to be able to approach him. But because he left the Reds and joined the Irons, we're taking him away from West Ham because West Ham don't even finish in the top 6 in this save, and Connor Bradley is going to be our brand new starting right back. And for 45 million, we are bringing Billy Gilmore to the side. And for 45 million, we are bringing ex-Chelsea Academy player Billy Gilmore to the side. For 45 million, we're going to take that. He's a good replacement for Felix Nemencha. He's not better than him, but hopefully he can grow to at least be as good as he was. And for 16 million, we'll bring in a backup right back, and it's the guy I mentioned earlier, Josh Achampong, still at a 71 overall. Was at Newcastle United though, so hopefully he can just train here and be a good backup and eventually take over the starting position over Connor Bradley if we ever need him to. And for 39 million, we are bringing a backup / challenger for the cam position and Angel Gomez. Surprisingly, Gibbs-White has been the only cam in the club for the past 3 seasons, so he does need a little bit of help. I need a little bit of rest so he doesn't get injured. So Angel Gomez at an 83 is going to be a perfect bench / challenger. This is what the side is looking like. Like I said, it's very hard to improve because a lot of the youngsters currently still at their parent clubs have not grown enough. But maybe this team could do the job to get us into that top 4. We do need it. And we have reached the end of season 3. Please tell me we finished in the top 4. We need to see some improvement. And we finished in 6th place. We can't get that. We can't get out of 5th and 6th. This is ridiculous. But sadly, Rashford's streak comes to an end as he just misses out on the golden boot to Palmer. But Morgan Gibbs-White with 18 goals is impressive. And take a look at this side. I think we are a top 4 team now. Not exactly 6th place or 5th place, but Gibbs-White is an 87. Rashford has gone up to an 88 at 30 years old. Dynamic potential is carrying him. Hudson-Odoi at an 85. And Langa, maybe he needs replacing because he's not really doing enough for this squad. 38 goals and 5 assists for Rashford. 25 and 16 for Gibbs-White. 9 and 10 for Curtis Jones. 6 and 1 for Langa. Even Angel Gomez got 5 and 6. What do we do now? How do we get out of this situation? But before we figure that out, we have to spin the wheel. At this point, I don't even think anything will hurt us if we lose somebody because we're just finished. No! I jinxed it. The one player, literally the one player I was thinking, as long as we don't lose, we'll be fine, is Marcus Rashford. He's leaving us. I don't even think there's a replacement for him. Nowhere near enough. And what a career recovery he's had. He was just entering his prime. He is leaving us for free. who are we gonna sign to replace this man? But at least we get more prospects, and at this point, we might have to rely on all of the players coming from the academy because there isn't a lot of options of players we can sign. Alex Hancock, Edward Harding, and Dalen Benson. What that is a crazy run of names right there, but they're all joining the side. And as we arrive to season number 4, the squad is still looking good, but I'm not sure what we can do to get out of that 5th place, 6th place vortex. But before anything, let's go ahead and see who is leaving the club. I hope we don't lose any more important players. And thankfully this season and for the entire save, not a lot of big clubs have come in for our players, so we remain with our starting 11. And we do have 145 million to spend, and the overall cap is still an 85 because we did not improve. Now this is where things get interesting. We could sign a replacement striker, not that there is a lot of options anyways, but our youth academy player Jude Brewer, who we got a couple years ago, he's only an 82 overall, but he has 95 finishing. I think I'm gonna give him a run for his money and give him 1 season to see if he does well. That could cost us very dearly though. However, in terms for the rest of the team, I think I'm gonna try and improve as many positions as possible with the 145 million that we have to spend on 85 overall players, whether it's the left back position. And for 30 million, we are bringing 30-year-old Fikayo Tomori, who spent a lot of time at the Chelsea academy. He's an 85 overall. He can start if he wants, but mainly he's just another backup in case we get injuries, because maybe our starting 11 is so good, but we're getting a lot of injuries and our bench isn't as good, and that's why we're not getting top 4 football. And for 48 million plus one of our backup center backs named Andrew something, we are signing Jadon Sancho, same as Tomori, same as Angel Gomez in the first season. They're gonna be here, and if they start, they start. If not, they can sit on the bench and help us score some goals when we need them. And he spent a lot of time in the City Academy. And for 30 million plus Jota Silva, same as Sancho, Nani Madueke is coming to the side. However, if he does better than Elanga, he can easily start. Elanga has not been very impressive since the beginning, since we took over Nottingham Forest, but he spent time in the Tottenham Academy before going to PSV and eventually now Chelsea. And now with this brand new side and this brand new bench, there is no way, I'm telling you, there's no way we don't at least finish in 4th place. And boys, there is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I sim 37 games into the season, 1 game left, and we are tied for the league title against Chelsea. All we need to do is win the last game. And after not finishing top 4 at all so far in the takeover, we have the chance to win the league title against Everton. But before I simulate it, let's see how our players did. Marcus Rashford ended up at Chelsea and has outscored Nani Madueke so far and is probably going to win the Golden Boot. But our squad is looking incredible. Brewer has already gone up a +4. I'm hoping he scored a lot of goals. Gibbs White is on the brink of 90 overall. And the team just keeps getting better. And it seems like Madueke and Sancho got a lot of game time because they're also growing. And 32 goals and 10 assists, Nani Madueke was the chosen one, but Brewer has not disappointed. At just 19 years old, 29 goals in his very first season in Premier League. That is incredible. 15 and 50 for our captain Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, Awoniyi, Elanga. Oh my days, this team has cooked. But the question is, are we going to win the Premier League title with Forest in 4 seasons? All they have to do is beat Everton in this simulation. Can they do it? Are they gonna do it? And Nottingham Forest are Premier League winners. We have done it. And there it is confirmed. The Premier League trophy is ours as the player of the season goes to Saka. And for the team of the season, I think this is the most we've ever had. 3 players in Williams, Murillo, and our youngster Jude Brewer. I think I made the right decision. And as Nottingham won the Premier League with 78 points, they sit in 5th place behind Brighton and Hove Albion. But we have won Nottingham Forest's first ever Premier League title. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the screen to see how we won the Premier League with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Click on the screen.